anyone in Toledo or Northwest Ohio 10 years ago today felt the pain of that tragedy. 2 Toledo firefighters killed in the line of duty in a fire that was intentionally set. So this morning we look at how their families and the Toledo Fire Department have had to learn to cope over 10 years.
We've had a lot of loss in our family over the past 10 years. And so every time that happens, it just kind of rips the Band-Aid open again.
It's still hard for Libby Cheney to believe that her beloved brother, Jamie Dickman, died 10 years ago, January 26, 2014. Fighting this fire at an apartment building on Magnolia Street, Dickman and fellow Toledo firefighter Stephen Machcinski were killed, crushing firefighters, the community, and their families. The Dickman family has felt the pain ever since.
He did miss my sister's wedding. My sister got married last year, and so it was very evident that he wasn't there. And so we just try to push through and do the best we can with those type of days. Every holiday, anything, he was always there.
Jamie's daughter is now a teenager, 13, and his son is 10. Libby says their mom is doing a great job of raising them.
As soon as I saw what was going on and heard some of the radio traffic on the way, I knew it wasn't good. After what could be described as valiant efforts to help their fellow firefighters.
Lou Santiago was Toledo's fire chief on that terrible Sunday in 2014. He was at a movie at Franklin Park Mall with his wife. He rushed to the scene.
It's anybody's worst nightmare. It's not just the chief's worst nightmare, it's the families, it's fellow firefighters. You still find yourself thinking back on that day and becoming sad with it. It's certainly an indicator that I haven't gotten over it. It's been tough.
Toledo's fire chief now, Allison Armstrong, was off that day, but her husband, also a firefighter, went in to help a broken department. She was broken in her own ways.
And then I lived down the street from my classmate that had called me, so then we got together just to try and support and console one another. I know a lot of people went to the hospital.
And now that it has been 10 years already?
Some days I feel like, oh my gosh, it's been 10 years, that's a long time. And then other days it seems just like yesterday. It's really, really hard for me to describe. I go through a range of emotions when I think about what happened.
What's been the toughest is watching the families deal with it as they have. And things have happened to both those families over time. I mean, Steve's mother didn't even make it to the end of the trial. She passed away. And his father passed away not too long ago.
A report by the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health listed several failures by the Toledo Fire Department that day. Not getting enough water on the fire soon enough, staffing issues, and not having a safety officer on duty. Now there is always a safety officer and other improvements.
We've had increased staffing since then, so more firefighters on rigs. We have tried to implement training to better ourselves, right? So that we're better equipped by better equipment, better training, more frequent training, better communication.
If we don't make these changes and we don't stay disciplined to them, then it's all for naught. It's just a slap in the face to Steve and Jamie. So that's what they would want. That's what their families wanted, that this never happen again.
But Toledo didn't only remember the tragedy of that day. This is also about a community that refused to forget Steve and Jamie. Plaques and statues went up in their honor. Memorial services were held. Toledo Strong provided food to fire stations every January 26th and renaming Interstate 75 near downtown so the whole country can learn of their sacrifice.
It's breathtaking. It's nice to know that they're not forgotten, and they're all here to honor their fallen.
It just made me appreciate things more and then try to take that mindset further as a leader and instill it on other people.
If anybody's learned anything out of this fire, that's all he would have wanted. I know there's been hundreds, if not thousands, of classes just in reference to this fire. So if anybody's learned anything that saved anybody's lives, that's all he would ever want.
Now, the man who set the fire, Ray Abu Arab, took an Alford plea and was convicted in 2017 for the firefighters' deaths. He is currently serving a 20-year sentence in jail.